Hello Gemini, so we're going to be doing your November reading for the 3rd to the 16th, and then we'll also do a second reading later on in the month. This is going to be a kind of overall theme of what's going to be happening in November for your star sign, Gemini Air. This is just a general reading, so if it doesn't resonate, that's totally fine. I'm not holding a gun to your head. If you don't like what you hear, don't have to take it on board. But if you do like it, then I would really appreciate you commenting and liking as well. And hopefully this does help you and just maybe guides you to kind of understanding yourself a bit more. So let me just pull the cards. I've already shuffled, so what we're going to do is pull. So we've got 9 of Cups in reverse, the Moon, 8 of Cups, 7 of Cups, the Magician, Knight of Cups. Okay, so similar to Pisces, we've got a lot of Cups energy here. Some emotions. So Gemini is air sign, so not water, but you know, sometimes can be very emotional, a bit indecisive, all the rest of it. So 9 of Cups in reverse. This is what it looks like. So this is, you know, success kind of turned on its head. So like I said, similar to Pisces, we're going to have a little issue where success is not not the thing for this month, you know. Aries and Taurus are feeling a bit bored. Pisces is going through the shit, you know. Maybe November is just not for it, but we'll do the signs and see what's going on. So yeah, 9 of Cups tends to be something that's just not growing properly. It's the success that's kind of halted. So it might be where you start to see a bit of a delay in success. It doesn't have to be like a complete stop. It just might be a delay. But also I want to talk a little bit about this 8 of Cups energy. So 8 of Cups is really interesting because this is really, again, about the abandoned success. So I want to see these two as being very linked to each other. You know, you're going to have to give up something very similar to Pisces. But by the way, if you have Pisces in your chart, please watch the Pisces reading. It might resonate as well. It's really interesting because these two link together about, you know, you might have to give up something that you thought was going to be successful and start again, go back to scratch. To kind of get this Knight of Cups in reverse as well. Knight of Cups is normally about advancements where you get this opportunity and this proposal. I think for you, in some area of your life, you're not getting success or a proposal. Could be work. I think for you, because I see a lot of Cups energy here, I think it's love. You might be not getting the kind of movement that you want from love. So in November, this is probably not a time for you to be like, I'm charging full speed ahead with it. Knight of Cups in reverse says that. It just says that you're not going to get that advancement and that kind of opportunity that you would normally have when this is in upright. So that's upright, and then to have it in reverse like that. So, you know, we're having a bit of an abandonment of success here. 7 of Cups, however, which is this, kind of looks cool. 7 of Cups, again, this is kind of similar to what I was saying with the overall Blue Moon November reading, was that there is going to be some kind of element of a false god complex here. So you're not getting what you want, you're not getting the advancement, but it's because you're living in a sort of daydream. You're living in this illusionary version of what you think success is. So you're kind of measuring yourself on a fairly weird kind of fantasy daydream that you might have been holding for quite a while. And because of that, you're not really stepping back and seeing the bigger picture, which is what an air sign really can do well, is because they have a bit more logic than the other signs. So I think for you to be able to step back and see this is really important. However, we do have the Magician card, which means that we can manifest whatever the hell we want. You know, Magician is great. Magician is being able to manifest its strategy. So it's like, okay, so I'm not having success in this. What ways can I use my skill and my advantage to kind of pull it together? It's also diplomacy. So I always see that as, you know, you being able to communicate in a really good way. So maybe you're not getting what you want. Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tell you that you're not giving me what I want. Kind of a bit difficult when you don't have no movement or no contact with somebody. So, you know, maybe not for that kind of particular time in your life. But definitely if you're having struggles at work, in studies, talking to somebody and kind of just taking your thoughts on board. Thoughts create reality, okay? Remember that for Gemini. Thoughts create reality. It's important to understand that. You also have the Moon. So the Moon is kind of deception. It's also a little bit about false promises, you know, someone giving you a false hope. So again, you might have had this like daydream of the 7 of Cups. It didn't go so well with the success, and now this sort of false hope is shattered. You know, we've got this idea of deception. Interesting to have that for Gemini because, you know, Gemini is often known as having 2 people kind of there. So there's an element of 2 people not being forthright with you or honest. This is also telling you that you need to kind of have your barriers up a little bit. Okay, so just because you're going to take a hit does not mean that you should, you know, roll over and die. Keep going, manifest, you know, because we have this Magician card. This gives this deck a much nicer feeling. But I will pull a clarifier actually. So let's put a clarifier. I'm just going to put a random one. Nine of Swords. Okay, Nine of Swords is really interesting. This is about, you know, you're going to go through a fight. What I would like to see this is not like a fight that's like miserable, although it can mean that. This to me is that you just keep persisting. You keep fighting the good fight, okay? Someone's not giving you what you want. Persist. Just persist, okay? We've got that Magician card, so anything is possible. Again, this might not seem, just like Pisces, this might not seem like the nicest reading, but don't worry because that Magician is there to tell you, do you know what? I might go through the shit, but I'm going to take the reins back on my life. I'm going to manifest whatever the hell I want. And then we start to see a much better kind of sort of moment. Yeah, so that Nine of Swords is interesting as well. Just kind of have a bit of clarity about what's going on. Again, don't roll over and die. Don't let the dragon eat you. That's what the Nine of Swords is. Have a bit of personal power. So again, it might not sound like the nicest reading in the world, but I think this is important. And don't worry because we've got that Magician card. And I think this is really a very emotional deck. You know, you might be going through some emotions here, but this is only the first half of November. Second half of November, we could go full speed into success. It's always really important to know that sometimes we've got to go through the shit to get to the nice sides, okay? So, and again, you don't have to take this reading if you don't want to, but if it does resonate with you, or you're like, yeah, I'm going through that right now, it might help you. So, yeah, that was your reading. I'll also do a second reading for the second half of November to kind of help you too, and if you did like it, thank you very much.